Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we have an interesting subject to discuss, and that is the hero's journey and how it relates to our spiritual evolution. I was inspired to do this video from a movie that I saw, which is called Finding Joe. And that movie talks about Joseph Campbell. Joseph Campbell was a luminary in the world of mythology and archetypal energies, and he coined the phrase, the hero's journey. What he noticed is that when he studied all sorts of myths and stories and archetypes from all sorts of cultures, pretty much universally, was that there was one story line that really underlined everything. And it was just different permutations of the whole same story over and over and over, and told mythologically in many different ways. He found this fascinating because that told him that this is something that is part of our collective consciousness. So no matter where you are in the world, this story still permeates. And the truth is that the reason it permeates is because this is really part of our spiritual legacy. This is what we go through as a soul. So let me just break it down for you. The hero's journey, and it's the storyline of every movie you're going to see, every book you're going to read, fiction I'm talking about. It's talking about 3 stages of humanity and what we go through as people. The first stage is separation. The second stage is initiation. And the final stage is return. So these are the 3 stages that the hero goes through. And if you watch everything that you can think of, every movie, that's the baseline. So the hero is challenged to separate himself or herself from their community and go on a quest. And this happens when they get a call. They might get a call in many different ways. In the movie, they showed the phone ringing, one of those old-fashioned phones on the street. But the call can be coming in many different ways. We get directions, we get synchronicities, we get dreams, we get ideas, we get people who tell us things. So sometimes the call comes in a variety of ways. The point is that we listen. So we begin this journey that is outside of our comfort zone, is outside of our community. And sometimes there are people who don't understand and who question what we're doing. But we're still decided to go on because we're questing for something. There's something at the end of the rainbow that we're searching for. And so we embark on this perilous journey, and we end up having many different challenges. And there's a time when we are faced with slaying the dragon, or whatever mythic beast there is, or whatever obstacles that there are. And so the dragon is really the shadow part of ourselves. And the dragon doesn't need to be slayed, but needs to be integrated, understood, and loved. So once we realize that those shadow parts of ourselves need that kind of empathy and integration, we can move through those stages, and we come to the place where we get the Holy Grail, which could be any number of things. And the Holy Grail is not really the purpose of the journey. The Holy Grail is actually just kind of like what we're aiming towards. But the real purpose of the journey is this integration of the darkness, because that is how we evolve. So when we go on this journey, it could be getting a different kind of profession. It could be living off the grid. It could be manifesting in so many different ways. It could be a woman who is in a very conservative society that expects her to get married and have children, and she chooses not to do that. She chooses to go off and do something completely different. Maybe go to university, or maybe go to an ashram and spend time there. So this can play out many different ways, but there is a separation. There's this quest, this journeying, and then there's the return. There's the return of the person, the hero, who has changed internally because of this quest. And then they bring their knowledge and experience to their community, to their tribe, to their peoples, thus enriching them and also providing a role model for them to follow. So if we think about it in a spiritual perspective, this is exactly what happens to us. We come from Source. We are born from Source. We separate from Source, and we begin our existence through many lifetimes and dimensions and universes, and we evolve as we go. and learn things and integrate things and do our lessons and find out things and challenge ourselves and live through karma and then burn karma and get rid of karma. And then we reintegrate and go back to source, which of course benefits from our knowledge. And this is the cycle that we all go through throughout our many incarnations, and throughout the universe, everything goes through those cycles. So from our human perspective, we also, as I said, do this by seeking out something different, something that is not mainstream, that was not our family's choice, that was not our community's choice, something completely different, but that speaks to our passion, it speaks to our heart, it speaks to something that brings us joy. And it's through joy and searching for bliss, which is what Joseph Campbell called it, that we begin to attain this state of heroism, as in going out there and doing something that we love and that will also benefit society, but in a very different way than what we have been told. So I hope this explains part of our journey, both as souls and as humans. And there is, this beautiful challenge to go out there and do this. I speak about this in my authenticity video. I speak about it in my blog. Why do we want to be authentic? Because that is when we begin to find our bliss, and that is when we live true to ourselves. And our soul is calling us to do that every moment. And, sometimes it starts with gentle calls, and eventually it's going to kind of wrap you over the head, because you cannot resist that call. When the call comes in, if you resist it, it's going to have some very negative consequences for you as a person, your psyche, if you resist the call to live through your true authentic self and to really resist your evolutionary process. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe and come back some other time for more wonderful videos. Thank you.